This video is going to be going over the April 6th assignment over composite volume and surface area mixed exercise B. We're going to start off with question number 1. Number 1 says find the lateral surface area of half a cylinder. Do not include the bottom rectangle. Okay. So we just want the lateral surface area of this cylinder. Okay. So our lateral surface area for a cylinder is S is equal to 2 times pi times radius times height. Okay, so we need to find the radius and height of this cylinder. We need to find the radius and height. Okay, we see 20 is from side to side of one of our bases. Okay, so we have one base in the front and one base in the back. Okay, if we know 20 is from side to side, our radius is always half the diameter. Okay, so our radius is equal to 10. So I'm going to put 10 underneath our radius. And then, again, like I said, we have a base in the front and a base in the back, and they are 100 feet away from each other. So we're going to replace h with 100. We're going to drop down pi. We're going to drop down 2. Let's go plug this formula into our equation real quick. So we have 2 times pi times 10 times 100. All right, so we get 6,283, and we'll round to 2/10. Okay, but we have to remember we're only finding half a cylinder, so we're going to take this number that we just found right here for the whole cylinder and divide it by 2 because we only want 1/2 of it, and we get 3,141 and 6/10. Okay, which we can see is answer choice C. So C is the correct answer for number 1. We're also going to go over number 2. Number 2 says find the volume needed to create the entire center block. So we want to find the volume of the whole thing. All right, so when we look at this 3D composite object, we see that we have a cylinder and we have a cube. Okay, so here's our cylinder formula. We have big B times H. Okay, and let's go ahead and just solve this cylinder real quick. Okay, so big B is the area of the base. We know the shape of our base of our cylinder is a circle, so we're going to replace big B with the area formula for a circle, which is pi radius squared. Okay, and we drop down the height. So, again, we need to know the radius and we need to know the height. We see that 4 is pointing to this line that goes from one side to the other side, so half of it is 2. So our radius is 2. Our height of just the cylinder is 4, so we'll drop down the 4 down here. Okay, so we have 2 squared. All right, so pi times 2 squared times 4. Let's go see what this is. Pi times 2 squared times 4. Okay, we get 50 and 3/10 inches, and we found the volume, so cubed. Okay, so there is our cylinder. So now we have to find the cube. The cube's volume formula is the same thing, big B times H, but we have a different shape of the base. We have a square this time. So we're replacing big B with the area formula of a square, which is length times width. And we drop down the height. For a cube, we see that all lengths are 5. So we have 5 for the length, 5 for the width, and 5 for the height. So 5 times 5 times 5, and that equals 125 inches cubed. All right. So we have our volume of our cube. We have our volume of our cylinder. So now all we have to do left is add the 2. So 125 plus 50.3. And when we add them up, we get 175.3 inches cubed, which is answer choice B. All right. Let's go over number 3. Number 3 says Jose is going to paint the lateral walls of his barn below. He will not paint the roof or the floor, nor the window or the door. How much surface area of paint will he need? So we're looking for surface area. He's not going to paint the roof. Okay, so we can just ignore all this since we're not painting it. Okay, we're only painting the 4 walls of this rectangular prism down here. Okay, so let's go ahead and just worry about finding the surface area of this rectangular prism. So we're going to look for the lateral surface area. Since we're only painting the sides, we're not painting the bases. Remember, the bases are always what it's sitting on, so we're not going to be painting this bottom rectangle down here, okay? Nor the one on the top. All right, so we're only finding the sides. So the lateral surface area of a rectangular prism is, big P times the height. All right, so we need to know the perimeter of the base times the 3D height. Okay, we already know that it's sitting on this rectangle down here. Okay, so we're just trying to find the dimensions of this rectangle. Okay, so we know this side is 15, this side is 20, so that means this side over here is also 15, and this back side will be 22. So we have 20 plus 20 plus 15 plus 15, okay, which is going to equal to 70, okay. So we have 70, and we need the 3D height of our rectangular prism, which we can see is 18. It is 18 feet high, so it times 18, okay. So let's go plug this in the calculator. So we have 70 times 18, which is 1,260. Okay, so that's the total surface area of all the four sides. But like the question said, we don't want to paint the door or the windows. Okay, so we need to find the area of this door right here and find the area of this window and subtract those two numbers by our total surface, our lateral surface area. Okay, so we have this rectangle, which is an 8 by 7. So 8 times 7 is equal to 56. All right, and 3 by 2 window, which 3 times 2 is 6. All right, so we can subtract 56 from this, and then when we find that, we're going to subtract another 6. So let's go subtract all these real quick. So we have this subtracting 56, we get 1,204. Subtract another 6 for the window, 1,198, which is answer choice B. B is the correct answer for number 3. We're going to skip down to question number 6. Number 6 says find the total surface area of the figure. Okay, so we need to find the total surface area. Total surface area for a prism is S is equal to perimeter times the height plus 2 times the area of the base. Okay, so perimeter, again, as soon as we see a triangular prism, our base are these triangles. Okay, so the three numbers we're adding for our side lengths is 8 plus 6 plus 10. So big P is equal to 24. We also need to find big B. Big B is the area of the base, so 1/2 times the base of the triangle. When we look at this triangle, it's sitting on this 8. We're just looking at the triangle. We see that it's sitting on 8, so times 8, and the height of just the triangle is 6. It's not 10 because 10 is the hypotenuse. That's never going to be our height. Okay, so 8 times 6 is 48. Divide by 2, so big B is equal to 24. Okay, and we need to know the 3D height. The 3D height is going to be 4. We have a base in the front, a base in the back, and they are 4 feet away from each other. Okay, so let's go plug these numbers into our calculator real quick. So we have 24 times 4 plus 2 times 24. We had 144, which we can see is answer choice D for number 6. And the last question we're going to do is question number 9. Number 9 says, which equation can be used to find V, the volume of the cylinder? Okay, so it does not give us H, and we see that all the answer choices are just the formula for the volume. So let's go ahead and write the volume formula. So for a cylinder, it's V is equal to big B times H. Okay, now we're going to replace big B with the area formula of the base. Okay, we see the shape of the base is a circle, right? Okay, the area formula for a circle is pi radius squared. So let's go and replace this right here for big B. Okay, so volume is equal to pi radius squared, and we drop down this height, so times height. Okay, doesn't give us our height, so we'll just leave height alone, but we can still find our R. We see that 7 is pointing to this line that goes from side to side, so the radius is always half of that. Okay, so 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. Okay, so our radius, 3.5. All right, so let's rewrite this, but with our radius of 3.5 now. So we have V is equal to pi times 3.5 squared times height. All right, so there's our formula. We can't do much anymore because we don't know the height. So all we have to do is just see which answer choice matches this right here, which we can see answer choice B matches what we just wrote all correctly. Okay? So this is the video that went over the April 6th assignment. If you need to complete the redo assignment, go ahead and start working.